everybody. Welcome to the SP Anonymous School of Music, where music education is prominent. Got a big year coming up for the producer community in terms of educating the people and making sure they get the real music education. You already know I'm an advocate for all of you producers out there getting ripped off by just about everything out there, putting out the false music education. So we definitely want to make sure that you guys are getting real music education and the stuff that's vital and important, not wanting to encourage people to try and cheat their way through the system and not learn about music and just click on buttons and play Tetris in the piano roll. So also real quick, want to shout out to all the followers, all the supporters, subscribers. We've gotten hundreds of messages, literally hundreds of messages and emails or whatever over the past year for these tutorials to come back and for me to come back to the community and educate the people on my Batman game. So for sure, I got you guys, and this time it is very concentrated in terms of the education that we have offered. Of course, you guys know, the full education comes from the SP Anonymous School of Music, where you learn how to read and write music and compose, and basically everything you need to know, everything that I know to have a successful career in music and to actually control an entire studio while you're in it and not just be a beat maker. So we have that. Several educational videos and packages and things like that. Pretty much going to be taking care of the producer community this year. If you guys know about me as the pianist, the composer, then you know that the MIDI kits that I have coming out this year are going to be crazy. So look out for that, but especially with this Pierre Bourne coming out with an entire Pierre Bourne MIDI kit with tons of several real melodies, Pierre Bourne and harmonies, whatever. So it's basically going down, man. So the people asked for, so we got you. Also, for the first time ever, going to be making the FLPs available for purchase. This will come with the drum kit, and we will give you 2 to 3 hours of free instructional videos of your choice. But of course, you'll have to consult, and we'll find out what's best for you. So we're definitely on our game, making sure we take care of those who really want to get better and succeed and have a music career and not be robbed by people who are looking to take their money for their own financial gain. So here, we just here for the music and the education. All right. So anyhow, let's get right into it. So here we have a new series, The Theory of Pierre Bourne, which is pretty obvious. We're going to go over the theory of Pierre Bourne, starting off with the biggest track this man ever produced, which is Gummo. A lot of people asked me about this. They wanted this done. They said that people put out videos on it but didn't really cover it, so here we go. So let's get to it. And this is a Gummo, type beat up. I put in all the elements and everything you need to know so we can go over this theory. All right. So real quickly, let's get down to business. I mean, where do we start? Okay. So Pierre Bourne, when composing this piece, totally aware of a tonal center. So this piece has a tonal center, which means it has a tonic, which means it's all based on being inside of one key. All right, that key that this piece was composed in was D minor. D minor is the relative minor to F major, okay, which means that F major and D minor, D natural minor, and F major have the same scale. They share the same scale, all right, and they're relatives. So it's the same thing. Let's take a look at that. So you see I had it all set up for you here, but here is the D natural minor scale, okay, which is D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, and then D, okay. Now let me show you how really quickly how this is the relative to F major. There you go, correction there. So here's the F major scale. And now the D natural minor. So as you can see, they're exact same scale, just on different starting points, okay? So I wanted to show you guys that. Okay, so in building a composition, when you have a tonal center, it's important to establish any type of harmony or chord movement or any suggested harmony, because your melodies will all be built off of the harmonies on whatever chord or whatever is indicated during that particular time. So the harmonies are always going to be important to start with first. If you start off with a melody, okay, it's very dangerous if you plan on incorporating harmony, because with the melody, the harmony would dictate what the melody would be. So for instance, if you have a melody and you C, E, G, A, okay, and then you try to play an A flat chord, A flat, C, E flat, it's not going to go together. They're in two totally different keys. It's just not going to work. So you have to know, maybe go with the harmony first, because it's going to tell you what key you're in, what are your choices in terms of notes, what are the wrong notes, all of that type of stuff. And you can learn all of this in depth, with our private training. So let's start with the harmony. So with the harmony, there was some slight chords laid down in the piece. Okay, so basically it was a very, very simple thing that was going on here, which was, the chord being the tonic, the D minor chord. Now here I added a little 9 here for flavor, but it's pretty much, as you can see, this is just open fifth, closed inside of the octave, right, of the tonic, which is the octave, D, there's the open fifth. And then we just went ahead and put a 9 up there just for color. And this is just going back and forth from the 1 chord to the 6 chord, which is extremely, by this point, is extremely common in just music. And it's all over the place, pop music, trap. Everyone is kind of going to a 1-6 chord progression. So that's all this is. And this is an inversion, okay? So it creates a D pedal. You guys follow me, you know that I introduce producers to a pedal point, and maybe people were using it but not knowing the theory behind it and why and all that. So here's your pedal point. Shout out Craft Masters. Here's your pedal point right here, and you keep the D on the bottom the entire time because it adds flavor and stuff like that. Also really emphasizes and establishes the tonal center, which is D, right? We're in D minor. So yeah, you got root fifth, and then root in the octave, and then you have the 9. You'll do a little voice leading. This 9 can now become the 5th of the 6th chord. Okay, obviously the octave can stay the same, as that would be the 3rd. The 3rd is extremely important in the triad because it's the only quality tone. Okay, the other 2 tones are not quality tones because they're not telling you the quality. Quality tone has to be the major, minor, augmented, diminished. Okay, so here this chord is going to keep going back and forth from D. You can honestly, okay, we're going to be extreme. We want to teach you guys as much as possible. It's an indicated D minor chord, but it's really not. Technically in the rock and roll world, they call this a power chord, which is an open fifth, right? Just a fifth, and then it's closed in the octave. Then it has a 9. So you could say it's a power chord with an added 9, but then here is your 6th chord. And like I said, it's in first inversion. It's in first inversion because the D is in the bass, all right, which is the 3rd of the chord. Okay, and then this just keeps repeating. That's it, this chord movement here. And at the end, I may have added a little bit of flavor to it by playing what it looks to be a D minor 11. So let's take a listen. So again, I did add some textures and things like that. Just as a composer, I like some of my things to be, I felt like the harmony had room to be a little bit more complex, to where it was naturally just an open fifth going up into the triad 6. But these types of things here, playing these types of chords and basically playing the 7th chord, okay, with still keeping the tonic pedal, which is going to make a D suspended 9. So you have a D suspended 13, okay? So you can look at it that way, or technically with modal music and pedal point, it's truly just playing the seven chord, right? Over the tonic pedal point, because this is just a C major. We do a C major because C major is a 7. It's going to walk, and it's going to walk to D minor. Now, a lot of people, because this is theory here, right? This is theory of Pierre Bourne. We talk theory here. Really want to make sure you guys know what you're doing. So yeah, get used to it. There'll be a lot of discussion, and you have to use your brain here. But a lot of people don't understand when they're doing the 7-1 chord progression. Why does this work? So I want to educate you on that. The 7-1 chord progression. Here's your 7, C, E, G. That's a 7 chord, the natural D minor, and then here would be the tonic, the D minor. And the reason why this works is because going to the relative major, okay, F major, which is ultimately where all of this is coming from. Okay, when you go there, when you go to the 5 chord, okay, which normally only wants to return home, there's a deceptive cadence to where the 5 chord will walk up to the 6 chord. This is prominently used in music for centuries, okay? So that's why this works. This is truly the deceptive cadence from the relative major, but in this case, it's just a 7-1 and returns you home in the relative, in the minor, okay? So that's how that works. So again, this is just, simple things here, and the FLP will be made available for purchase, so you'll be able to cop that and get all of this, all the MIDI, all of the chords, and I'm also going to give you 2 hours of training from any some private videos of your choice, since I have like 40-50 of them. So yeah, there will be more, so you'll be able to learn more about this through the FLP and other things. Okay, so in composition, it's important. Once you pretty much establish your tonal center, which we have here, which is the chords, you're pretty much ready to go. If you're listening to just the chords, you're now ready to kind of build up around that. So let's take a listen. So you pretty much set there. So the next thing that, I'm assuming you'd go for, you know what I'm saying, in the theory of building this composition, is just going ahead, and Pierre Bourne likes to beef up, and if you overemphasize, if you will, right? He likes to really emphasize, what he's doing. So here, this 1-6 chord movement in D minor, he's going to furthermore establish that with more power here. Okay, so this is simple stuff. This is almost like layering, 2D layering, or whatnot, if you will. It's pretty much for texture and stuff like that. So think about it. We now know what's going on with the 1-6. What Mr. Bourne is doing here is he's now going to make sure that he's getting it's actually pretty good voice leading. This is great voice leading. Pierre Bourne is using, really good techniques that are simple, that are actual music techniques that fit inside of modern day music. So this is great stuff here. But what he's doing here is emphasizing the voice leading, which is that with the tonic going to the 6th chord, the 5th of the tonic chord would then become, the root of the 6th chord. And so this is voice leading. Anytime you have a half step in voice leading, or any type of voice leading, stepwise motion, you want to emphasize that to the human ear. So no better way to do that than to layer it. Okay, so that's just all this is, and that's what this is doing. It's important for you guys to know. Okay, if I just use people just clicking in notes and stuff, you need an explanation as to why this is going on. What is it doing? Why does the human ear hear it that way? It's called the psychology of music. This is stuff that you learn, on the higher levels of music education. So I'm here sharing that with you guys. So this stuff is extremely important to know the science behind what is going on. That's why this is the theory of Pierre Bourne. So let's take a listen to the impact that has when you emphasize that voice leading. Now you guys already you see what that did. It added the texture. And in case you were kind of wondering, what does the composer, what does he want for us to get? What is he trying to, well, he made sure you knew by emphasizing, doubling up, okay, the fifth of the tonic going to become the root of the sixth chord. Now, there's going to be a lot of power and a lot of overstating going when you do this, because as we go through this composition, you'll see that certain times we'll probably have 5, 6, 7 notes playing the sixth chord root at a time, and sometimes in this case you see the double A. We already saw the last chord had an A in it, so you got the triple A. So who knows what other notes? So I mean, there's going to be a lot of over explaining, if you will, or over emphasizing these music notes, but it's really, really strong texture. Okay, so now with that main sound established, okay, which is pretty much the harmony, it's very, very important. Looking down here on the list, there's nothing else that he used to be a harmonic device. These two things is what, Pierre Bourne used, like pads and stuff, and it's not like exact pinpoint, but it is. So it's approximate, and I'm gonna add some flavors and stuff to it, but those are all of the harmonic implications lie within the chords and the little pads here. From there, he can kind of move on. So you want to now establish a rhythm. So you see, just adding the clap help you establish a little rhythm, and then you probably want to, add in an 808 or a kick, whatever one comes first. I'll do the kick first. Okay, so now you can see, okay, fine, an establishment of rhythm is coming, and you can pretty much, at this point, the composer is probably feeling very comfortable with what he has there. Because once you set up, like I said, the chords are everything, and the harmonies everything, because at this point he knows, okay, I'm pretty much sitting on D minor, I'm going to go to this B flat major chord, the sixth chord, and I mean, I'm in this scale with only 7 notes, so, I mean, he's pretty much good to go at that point. Let's go, so let's, real quick, because this is just a Pierre Bourne kick pattern he loves to do. So here, it's simple. You hit on the downbeat, and coming on the second offbeat, a double kick, pretty much. Okay, so. So this kick pattern is all based on pretty much the offbeats, right? Here's your downbeats, beat 1, okay. Technically, the way this is working, it's kind of like cut time, so maybe the beats are just here, boom, 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 and boom. So you can see the only time the downbeat is on 1, he's pretty much playing it there. Then on 2, there's nothing there. This is the offbeat, right? Here's your downbeats, 1, 2. That's if you want to count at halftime. If you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, then fine. But this would still be on the offbeat, right? Okay. So, but yeah, it's double time is supposed to be that way. So these are the offbeats now, right? Okay. And so yeah, he's just emphasizing the offbeat, which is most rhythmic music. So again, just take a look at the kick pattern and move on. I may have added a little stunt here at the end just because it sounded fire. Alright. So now, I mean, gosh, composition is pretty much built, pretty much done. Once you throw this 808 in there, that's going to be a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to that. Okay, so this 808 pattern, and as I'm covering, I got a lot more tutorials coming out. Like I said, this is a series, so look out if you want to learn more about many other Pierre Bourne styles and theory, then make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button. We got plenty more coming. But something that I found in a pattern in this man's music making is that he really likes to note surround the tonic, or just do a sense of note surrounding for his drum line. So here's your tonic, right? D, okay, here's your tonic, and then pay attention. Here's the E, okay, the 2, or then in this case the 2, and then here's the 7. And if you think about it, 2 and 7 will surround 1 if the numbers go from 1 to 7, right? So 2 and 7, right, would surround 1. So that's why it's called note surrounding. So you have your tonic here. If you pay attention, before we hit the tonic again, Pierre Bourne is going to surround the tonic. This is a technique that I probably introduced in the Metro Boomin video. These classical terminologies have never been used in the production community, so keep following me if you guys want to learn this stuff and just learn how to really create music. And furthermore, join the SP Anonymous School of Music, so I can that's where I really can take care of you. I mean, I do my best here. It's a public tutorial, but anyhow, so this is just note surrounding, and he's going to continue this pattern each and every time right here. And once again, downbeat, emphasize these off beats right here. Nothing on the actual downbeats here, or once it hits, right? You got the opening downbeat, and then, so yeah, that's pretty much what this is. And it's a rhythmic thing, right? Boom, 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 cha 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 cha, boom, boom, boom. So that boom, surround, tonic, surround, tonic. You're just surrounding the tonic. So again, and let's move on. So let's continue now the track's pretty much done. I mean, this is, if you guys been following me and how I teach you guys how to build compositions and teach you guys theory and all this type of stuff, you know that, building around the harmony, okay, and the harmonic elements of a composition will really set you free. So here, this thing's pretty much done. I'm gonna prove it to you, but let's finish off the rhythm. You got the rhythm, obviously a hi-hat's coming next. I don't recall if he had an open hat in there, but I threw it in there. And excuse me, we forgot one more point too on the harmony. I just missed that. Let's go up there really quick. I forgot there's a tonic pedal here. So there's plenty emphasizing the harmony, all tonic, tonic, and then the voice leading of the tonic fifth going into the sixth, okay, the root of the sixth chord, which is B flat major. So here, this is just a pad, all right? So you really know this dude's on a pedal point, because you hit the pedal point within the chords, and here you are again. And this is something he actually likes to do. I'm gonna show you guys that when we get to the Magnolia tutorial, there's a pedal point on the chords there. It's really educated, especially with the Magnolia, because he really masked everything inside of there. And you have to have a really good ear to hear what he was doing there. So can't wait to share that stuff with you guys. But yeah, just a tonic pedal. And as you see, I put the filter on it, so it gets like, I didn't really try to go too far with that, because we want to, everybody knows how to do that. I know that for a fact. It's been on the producing community for years. So a lot of people know how to do filters and stuff like that. A lot of people do not know how to compose music or know anything about theory or harmony and have no idea. They just know this was a good beat. So this is exactly the element, the science, the science of it. Okay, so with the tonic pedal, like I said, that just emphasized again tonic, and then I believe he really had that on because it had that filter on it to really bring that like spooky type feel. And we added the hi-hats. Everybody knows that was a simple hi-hat pattern. Okay, so this thing's pretty much ready to get done. You could imagine that you want to probably go with a lead at that point. You probably needed some type of lead. So let's listen and add a lead. But anyhow, after listening to it, I'm thinking if I, what would be easy to hear. I think the lead may have came even later. One thing would be easy to hear is these textures that he was adding. A lot of it call and response style. Here you see on the bottom the high frequency. Missed the Q there, the W, but you get it. High fruit, call and response, and then here's a high frequency texture. So let's get into that. And so I'm going to break this down to you, what makes this actually pretty interesting, and Pierre Bourne getting some decent harmonies out now. Basically, first of all, this is an eerie sound and stuff like that. Help to kind of embrace this spooky feel, especially with all the filters and stuff. But if you guys remember, he was emphasizing the fifth of the tonic chord. Well, here it is again. Told you there'll be several notes, but this is what makes it interesting. On the note, when the chord changes to the sixth chord, here he's playing the E natural, which is the second, the 2 of the scale, or if it was up an octave, a 9. In this case, with it being higher up from where the chord is, this is a 9, and of the scale, that is. But on this chord, E, okay, is the sharp 11, okay, which is very, very interesting. It's a sharp 11. It's not a flat at fifth. It's a sharp 11. F flat would be the flat at fifth in this key on this chord. But what this does is it helps you create somewhat of a Lydian chord. Okay, now we have to go into. Well, I don't want to, like I said, you guys just should know this stuff. This theory. This is stuff you guys should want to know, man. Come join the SP Anonymous School of Music. Get educated so you can dominate in music, in the production. And these guys who you once thought were so good won't be so good to you anymore. But basically, the Lydian chord is the fourth mode of the major scale. Remember, every minor scale is a major scale. This is truly just the F major scale. If we're in the F major scale, the fourth chord, the Lydian chord, okay, has this E, the sharp 11 possibility, and it creates a crazy style harmony. Why? Because number one, it creates a major second from the third, the D natural, and then also it's only a half step behind the natural fifth. In this composition, Pierre Bourne had used the natural fifth. So now it's right here. Look, take a look. Here's the natural fifth, right? Of B flat, the sixth chord, right? Here's B flat, here's the natural fifth, and then here's this E. So it's just creating all this dissonance, and that's why it sounds really, really dope. Hey man, this is the explanations of it, right? So, and this is just falling line, dum, bum, like a doorbell, bum, bum. He's really just playing an interval rhythmically, okay? That interval, okay, being a perfect fourth, descending from A to E. Okay, and then getting that E walking up to the fifth, which works out because now, so really this is like a extremely, like I said, Pierre Bourne, people don't understand it until the stuff's broken down. This is actually pretty complex in classical music, where you basically hit a chord here, and we're on the sixth chord, and the correct note of the sixth chord is F, but before it, you go ahead and you play a non-chord tone and you roll it into it. Okay, so this is pretty complex stuff here. So the sharp 11 becomes the natural fifth, and then it becomes which was once dissonance becomes consonance very quickly, and your ear probably can't even catch all of that. So it's just great stuff here. Okay, so there was another high frequency melody. I don't even believe at any point in time he had them both in at the same time. So I'm going to take the other one out so it doesn't clash or anything, but I believe they don't come in at the same time, or maybe they do, but I'm going to take the other one out for a second. Okay, here we go. So this is, simple scalar stuff. Here he is emphasizing the half step in the scale, okay, which is 2 to 3, and then just popping it back to tonic. And then we're gonna reverse now. So he was, like I said, he was you know, ascending and then a quick descending little jump of a minor third. Here, okay, he's just going to walk down the scale. So from F, so he reverses these two, right? It goes from E to F here. We're going to reverse it, go from F to E, and then keep walking down. Actually reach the D. Okay, so think about what's going on here. Okay, this pattern here, okay, is E to F, okay, and it's going to turn around the D. All he does is reverse it, F to E, and then the D, he leaves it there. Doesn't flip it back up, just leaves it where it is. It's the exact same thing. So like I said, this guy's doing some pretty interesting things. You guys should definitely be paying attention to this stuff, study this stuff, get the FLP, and you know, I have some, I think a couple hours, it's just like crack. So here we got F. He does the same thing here, and this time a higher leap. Okay, so he keeps this down here and then hits the leap up, okay, to an F. Or is that an E? It's an E. All right, so let's listen again and move on. There you have it. Okay, so now at that point, let's throw in these little triplet melody really quick. Even though it's extremely commentary, probably came in at the end, but it seems like right now is a good time to put it in. So this is that part of the beat, you guys know, bump, 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 that keeps coming in. It's really comes out at the end of the beat, like on the outro. It really stands out there. But basically, to make this happen, this is very interesting. It's a certain type of triplet. But yes, this is the triplet, and it's the quarter note triplet, okay, based on these lines here. So that's what makes it interesting. It's not the eighth note triplet. Theoretically, when you're looking at this, is the quarter note triplet, okay. So it's very interesting. So these triplets here go from here, he's gonna go tonic to the 7 to the 5th, and I believe this is all happening over the 6th chord. You know, you guys need to understand when the notes are being chosen, it does matter, because the current harmony that's in the air at the time, okay, is what these notes are going to melt into, and they really need to go together. And if you can add color and things like that, just how we saw with Pierre Bourne using the sharp 11 over the 6th chord here, you know, same type of thing. We're on the 6th chord again, so of course this is the 3rd, but now here comes the 9, and then the major 7. So this is crazy. And if you have that one note going in, now you have a major 7 sharp 11, major 9 sharp 11. I don't think Pierre Bourne, I'm pretty sure he had no idea he did that, but that's why we're breaking this down, so we can analyze this stuff, man. Education, knowledge is power. Let's continue to get better in the, you know, producer community, especially with a lot happening right now with placements, and a lot of internet producers are thriving right now. So let's continue to get guys, you know, game up tight, and I do believe that the guys have no more talent here. So yeah, we're gonna continue to get you guys right, but there is also a lot of vultures and scavengers out there taking money from just about every innocent person who wants to come up in the game and learn music, and they go for the numbers, and these people are like ripping them off. So hopefully we can save a lot of people from that. So let's take a listen to this and then we'll move on. So yes, there's a reason why when this triplet hits, bum, 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 why it sounds so colorful. Not just because, oh, there's 3 notes, it was a cool idea. No, it's because he turned that 6th chord into a major 9 sharp 11. That's a jazz chord, by the way. Y'all don't even know what that is. So come get educated. Let's get it. So at this point, you know, I do believe we are definitely ready to add on that lead melody, and we're done here. So anyway, this instrument, I call it a lead because of the strength, but musically speaking, what it's doing, it's actually really not playing as the role as the lead. None of this stuff really is. A lot of the stuff's commentary and supporting, but this is more just supporting the main idea and the main theme. But it definitely acts as a lead, so it's really interesting how this guy, like I said, creating some very interesting music. You guys want to continue to tune in to this series because there's a lot more. This is just all what was done on Gummo. So anyway, with this right here is very interesting because you see the bent note. So he's bending the note into the 9. So now that the 9 that I played in the chord, it makes sense because he was playing the 9 in the melody. So me adding that 9 now adds just color here. So that's just things I heard as a composer. And 9 tonic, and look, he's going up to the same notes all over again. He's emphasizing. So that's what you want to learn as a composer. You want to have a group of ideas and notes and patterns and rhythms that you are emphasizing to your listeners. And he's doing a great job. He has done a great job of that with this composition. So, but look, it's that 5th again, tonic. Okay, here's the 9. All right, so that's all it is. Bending the note, okay, gets you that flavor. All right, and then just walking back down the tonic. There's 3 notes. All this stuff is all based on 3 notes. He'll hop up to the A. There's something interesting he's doing with a call and response here with the A. But look what he's doing. That A, again, is just emphasizing the same thing he did. So as you're seeing as a composer, Pierre Bourne creates these ideas and these patterns, and he likes to emphasize them. He likes to reiterate them to you to make sure that he's getting his point across. And it's a great job of doing that because these ideas are great. He's hitting and pinpointing very important parts of music composition, like voice leading. So here he is again, all over that A to that B flat. A, the 5th of the tonic, and then becoming the root of the 6th chord. It was a great job, Pierre Bourne. Shout out Pierre Bourne. Again, I wasn't sure if those two are in at the same time. So going on to the last thing, this extra melody is just something that I put in for you guys educational purposes when we get into the FLP. Just showing you other things you could do to have added to it, but it's not a part of Pierre Bourne's composition. His underlying sweeping melody is very, very interesting. Like I said, this guy is doing a lot of great techniques. Hopefully he watches this video so he can build on his own techniques that he was using. It's really good stuff. So here's an underlying sweeping melody. Okay, look at here, the same thing. Look at that, 3rd, 9, back to that 5th again, emphasizing the exact same things. And a lot of things he do is good as a composer. Pierre Bourne's paying attention to color and sound. I noticed that. I'm a music master, so I hear all of this stuff. So yes, Pierre Bourne does actually. He has real compositional techniques, whether they're simple or they're, obviously he's not making a symphony, he's making a banger. But the fact that he's utilizing these real music techniques is really, really good, especially for the producer community, because as I break them down, it gives you guys a real good chance to learn things educationally. So we really appreciate that. So here's the last thing here that pretty much gives a final texture. Pay attention again, how the first thing hits, offbeat, comes down on the downbeat, but rides off so smooth because there was a note change on an offbeat. It's great stuff, great stuff. So let's put it all in perspective. All right, guys, so that was great, fantastic. Let's take a listen to the actual beat and how it mapped out. The map out is so simple that I'm going to let it play across, and you guys should be able to just look at it and kind of say, oh, okay. Because most of the stuff he left in, not a lot of what you call transitions, not a lot at all. So you'll be able to take a look at it. So again, I want to thank everybody for watching. SP Anonymous School of Music on deck. If you guys want to get this FLP for educational purposes, you can contact me at Super Producer 13@gmail.com, or at the school email, spanonmusicschool@gmail.com. So yeah, this FLP, obviously you're gonna get all the, the VSTs and all that kind of stuff, and then you get all the MIDI, and I'm gonna give you the drum kit from this stuff, which happens to have some of my drums in there. And also, I'm going to allow you to train 2 to 3 hours for my private training videos of your choice. Of course, you have to consult and let me know what you're into. What are you trying to learn? We've got several, at least 60 hours worth of private videos. Yeah, so we'll have that available for you. You can't really beat that for $30. So, and then there's going to be, I'm going to make FLPs available for all of these projects. So this is something that I hadn't done before, but I see through the emails and messages from you guys, it's very important to the producer community. Asked me, please make these FLPs available for purchase. So here you go. And I added more to it. I see what other guys are doing. They're selling you these cheap FLPs. No shade, but come on, man. This is education. So education is important to me as a real teacher. So these aren't just FLPs. I got, like I said, I got hours of instructional videos coming behind them. The drums, the MIDI, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm just really trying to look out for you. If I'm going to give you something, I'm going to make sure you're getting more than what you can get anywhere else. So let's get into the finalization of the mapping, and that was that.
Niggas envy, blinking got the stiffy, Can you put some on Sesame Eleven real quick?
Voila. So thank you guys for tuning in. Definitely did this for the producer community. Like I want to, once again, for real, because it's been going on for a while, want to thank everybody. We got hundreds of messages and emails about coming back for tutorials and, coming to help out in the producer community. Guys feeling ripped off out there in the world, wanting real music training. So definitely back, man. It's a blessing, man. I'm thankful to my Lord that I'll be able to contribute again to the producer community. So Hopefully everybody enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to this channel. Hit the like button. Don't forget, like I said, you want to get this FLP so you can get the MIDI, the drums, and get some hours of some free instructional training. Private videos sent to your email. You can have that. Also, if you really want to get trained, like a full realm of training, I mean, you'll learn everything. How to read music, how to write music, how to play the piano, how to compose music, all of the theory, how to be in the studio, how to run the studio, then that's when you want to join the SPN School of Music. So you can get a full realm of music training. It's a music school, it's all online, and it has, you know, all of the training you need to where this stuff, if you were in the school, I'm pretty sure students in my school, this stuff is like, elementary to them. So definitely want to get you guys trained up. Whoever's willing, contact me, spa9musicschool@gmail.com. So God bless everybody. Maestro SP out.